What are the first 200 miles like on a Super 73? Hey, what's going on? I've had my Super 73 S2 for about a month now, and I've gone about 200 miles. Well, let's see if I've gone 200 miles. Looks like I'm about 3 miles shy. That should be pretty easy to take care of real quick. Alright, now I've gone 200 miles. So I wanted to make a video right around when I hit that 200 mile mark on my Super 73 S2. For those of you who are thinking about getting one, or if you've bought one and you're waiting for it in the mail, or if you've just gotten it and you want to know what to expect, this thing has been a ton of fun. I mean, just look how awesome this thing is. If you're watching this video, you probably already know, but I do not regret the decision to buy this. So since getting this bike, I've noticed two side effects. The first one is I want to ride it all the time. I'm sitting at home, I'm sitting at work, and I'm just thinking about the next opportunity that I can just go take this out for a quick ride. Next thing you know, you've gone 5 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles. It's just so much fun. The other side effect is that when you stop and there's somebody who can stop and talk to you about this bike, they're going to take this opportunity to do it. They're confused. They don't know if it's a motorcycle, they don't know if it's an e-bike, and it's just fun to be able to tell them why you got it, what you like about it, and they're going to ask you a lot of questions. So it's good to know a little bit more about this bike. Another thing when you first get this bike is you're going to want to start adding stuff and customizing it right away, like these mirrors and these cable covers, the phone mount, but I'll do a whole nother video on that in the future. So why did I pick 200 miles to start talking about this bike? Well, it gave me enough time to really learn the bike, have some fun on it, get a little bit of wear and tear on it, and just learn even some of the little quirks. Now at 200 miles, there shouldn't be much wear and tear, but something that happened early on with this bike and that I've seen in others is we got the tail light here. It does light up when I have the headlights on, but it's also supposed to light up when I squeeze the brakes. And that stopped working. Now I've been in communication with Super 73 and supposedly they're going to send me a part free of charge. They're just out of stock. Now something that I wish I would have noticed or paid attention to in my first 200 miles is the brakes. I wish I would have kind of got them broken in the right way. There's something that you're supposed to do called bedding the brakes. Look it up on YouTube. Really easy to do. But after I wrote it right out of the box, the brakes started squeaking. I've cleaned the brake pads, I've cleaned the rotors, you know, even to the point of sanding them and even taking a torch to the rotor to burn off any infirmities, but they still kind of squeak. So it might be something that I need the professionals to take care of, but that's not the bike's fault. Obviously these are parts that Super 73 throws on the bike. They're nice brakes, but just keep that in mind. Just make sure your brakes are good to go out of the box and you shouldn't have any problems down the road. So another thing I noticed when I first got the bike is that it actually only charged to about 98%. So this is the standard charger that comes with the Super 73. Again, online, I've seen a few people complain about that. Several said that after a few cycles it goes away. Mine did not, however, and like I said, I've been in communication with Super 73 support and they've actually sent me a new one. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put the bike on the charger and let you know if that worked or not. But that's something to consider too. The bike might only charge to 98%, but as far as range goes, I mean, I've ridden this thing as far as I possibly can, you know, 30 miles, 35 miles, and I live in a pretty hilly area, as you saw in that opening video. So I don't expect to get the 35 to 40 mile an hour range as long as I'm riding it in my neighborhood. Plus, I am on the heavier side, definitely working on that, and so I'm not going to get that full range that some of you lighter people might get. I'm going to put this on the charger and see if a new charger actually solves the issue and I get up to 100%. If not, not a huge deal. I appreciate Super73 sending me this charger. Alright, so I got the bike on the charger, and I did notice it is a different charger. This is actually the old one. It's 2.5 amps max, and this one's only 2.2, so who knows, maybe a slower charge is the ticket. So yeah, let's talk about charging for a second. These things do take a long time to charge. I've ran this thing to 0 to just try to reset the battery and then, you know, charge it back up. It took about 6 to 7 hours to charge that. So once you've ran it down, I would recommend not planning on riding it for the rest of the night. Just let that thing get charged back up. Also on the website or in the instruction manual, I can't remember where I read it, but it says, you know, after every ride, be sure to charge it up. That way it's ready to go for you. You get off work, you can go for a ride, or, you know, if you ride it to work, charge it while you're there so you have plenty of juice to get home. But yeah, charging does take a long time on these bikes. But Super73's website does sell a 5 amp charger, which again, they are sold out of right now, but I am saving up to get that one because I want a faster charge. Talking about things being out of stock on the website does bring me to another point. You will find that Super73 does run out of stock on stuff. In fact, they announced that they had a 10-speed kit for these. You can actually upgrade these to be a 10-speed, and within 1 day they were gone. So again, that was something that I had my eye on. Pretty expensive, 250 bucks. But yeah, it got sold out pretty quick, so they're out of stock. But that's one thing to consider. Just be patient with the company. Been around for a little while, but they're still growing. Of course, with COVID, everything is just on back order for everyone. Supply chains have really been disrupted, and they've actually made a few pretty nice videos about why that is, what's going on. So if you haven't subscribed to their YouTube channel, be sure to check that out because that's where they give a lot of these announcements. I know I kind of dwelled on a few of the negatives there for a sec, but there are way more positives. This thing, again, I just can't express how much fun it is to ride. I mean, it's a bike, but it's a really fun bike. And especially me, you know, like, you know, growing up as a kid, I had a bike. I've had mountain bikes, but I never really got into mountain biking. But I have this thing and all I want to do is go ride it. It's awesome. And now, especially since the weather's warming up. Also, there are a lot of cool companies that are doing a lot of cool things for these bikes. I think Cane Built is one of them. You can find stuff on Amazon. You can join some of the Facebook groups and see what individuals are doing. These things are fun to customize, trick out. I have a few plans for this one that I just haven't gotten around to, but I definitely need like a bike frame bag and a few more things, hook up some LEDs. What's cool about the bike is they have left, let's see if I can pull it out here. So they've left several of these plugs loose. Obviously they're capped off, but you can actually hook accessories to these things. So you can really accessorize them with other things like USB ports to charge your phone or to throw on some LED lights. I've seen some pretty cool things where people put LED lights around their frame. That would be cool. I thought it might be cool to kind of do a LED glow under this rear fender. So that's another thing I noticed within my first 200 miles is that the initial price of the bike is not where the spending of money ends, because you want to be able to customize this thing. You want to be able to accessorize it, make it fit your personality. In fact, I chose that model of the Super73, the S2, because I felt like that was more my style. My buddy, which I did an unboxing video, and you can see that down below or up above here, I'll pop it out. He got the RX. He wanted a little bit more of that rear suspension to take a little bit more on the trails, whereas I wanted to just kind of cruise on the street and around town. But these bikes, you can get them and they really can fit your personality, so that's a lot of fun too. So I'm going to let this thing charge up. I'll come check back on it later and we'll see if that new charger was the solution to the 98% problem. Another thing to consider within your first 200 miles is to convince a friend to buy one as well. Now, it's fun to go out by yourself and ride, but since my buddy got one, him and I have ridden quite a bit together and it's just been fun just going out. I mean, maybe you already know this, maybe you own motorcycles and you have a little crew that you ride around with, but that's a first for me. It's been a lot more fun with a buddy. Now with that, when you sign up on the site, you get a little referral link, and by sharing that link with your friends, you get $50 towards the site and they get $100 off a purchase of a bike. So in fact, I have that deal going on down below. So if you click my link and you're on the fence about buying one of these things, go ahead, get that $100 off. It helps you out, it helps you save money. Obviously I get a little kickback there, but let me just tell you, even without that kickback, this thing has been worth it. I have not regretted the purchase. I've not regretted the 200 miles that I've spent on this thing. I'm looking for I'm looking forward to 200 miles more and obviously beyond. All right, just checking the charge, and sure enough, it charged it all the way. Thank you, Super73. So thank you for watching. This is a new channel, so if you like what you see, there's going to be a ton more Super73 content. Also some other e-bike content as well. In fact, I actually turned my wife's mountain bike into an e-bike. It's kind of a Frankenstein project. I want to pull that thing out and get it all cleaned up and looking cool as well. Anyway, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment, let me know which model of Super73 you have, or if you're thinking about getting one. And yeah, go out, have fun, take a ride.